Can
I do that?
It should be recorded. Take your neighbor's,
What's
the AC condenser. You probably could. I mean, I don't see why not.
Oh, I like this water coming out. I don't know.
Is the lines coming out of it freezing? Like going into the house?
Out of the condenser? I mean,
Yeah.
no. I mean, they're cold, but they're supposed to be cold.
Yeah. It just doesn't cool off of the house.
What's that?
Is the house not getting cold? Is that the problem?
Well, it wasn't blowing air earlier today, apparently. Like the condenser was spinning, like the fan was moving, but no air was coming out of the vents upstairs.
So your blower motor in the furnace AC unit in the house is probably not blowing.
Well, it's an air handler. You think it has a blower motor? Oh, it might.
Well, I'm sure it does because
Yeah.
it's got that fan outside is really just to blow the air essentially
Into the
over those
house.
coil. Well, the fan outside, if you look, it blows the air. Well, depending on how it works, if it's like mine, it blows the air up out the top, so it sucks the air in from the bottom of the unit and from the sides over the coils, which cools off the Freon, and that generates the cold shit that goes into the house. And then somewhere in the house, usually like if it's a furnace or an air handler, there's like a blower motor, like a squirrel cage or something, usually where you put the furnace filter in. And then that'll probably spin. So like you could, well, your heat is boiler. So you've just probably got a blower motor in there then.
Yeah.
So there's
air
filter.
is coming out now.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
So
but earlier today it wasn't. So she just cleaned off the condenser, and now air is coming out of the vents.
Okay, I mean that could do it, but it is like in the house, the air handler.
Yeah.
Does that have like a furnace filter that you put in?
It does, and I changed it.
So if you take the filter off when it's running, like you should feel it either pushing, it's probably going to suck air in, because typically what it does is it blows air across the filter and then pumps it through the unit, the system. So if you pull the filter out, you should feel like airflow going into the system, which tells you that the fan on the inside is working.
I should feel airflow going in. Well, how do I feel airflow going in? I'm not going to put my hand in the air handler.
No. But like I mean, they're usually pretty powerful. So like if you pull the filter out, you'll know that the air's running. You'll probably hear the thing blowing, like whirring or making some noise. The air handler's got to have some kind of blower motor in it, I'm sure.
I mean, you're saying that like it's maybe a true statement. I'm gonna go up there and look right now on the podcast.
There you go. Yeah, well, live troubleshooting on Dan's old house.
Dan's old house. Recommend not get a house like mine. Oh, someone's in the shower though. I don't want to. I'll be blocking. I'll be like that person who's blocking a fire exit if I do this.
It's in the attic, right?
Yeah. I had to go up there.
Yeah, there's probably, because you've just got like, it's a regular AC unit like everyone else is outside, right? It's not like a special thing. Yeah, so you've got to have something in that air handler that's blowing air throughout.
I like your optimism.
Oh, I mean, it's got to be. Because there's no way.
Don't say gotta be. It might just be an empty aluminum box and air is happening to go into the rooms.
But that's the thing, is like the condenser outside, there's no ductwork for that to blow air into the house and get it around the house.
No, it's just a thin pipe going up into the attic.
Yeah, and that carries all the stuff into the condenser, well, the air handler that blows all the cool air through the house. The other thing is, since it was like 90 degrees today, are your, like, the ductwork's in the attic too, right? I'm assuming as it comes off, is it exposed or is it like covered in in
Well,
insulation.
so it has some insulation around it, but you
Okay.
can see where in places it's coming apart. And I wonder if I'm wondering if like there's a hole somewhere and I'm losing air pressure.
Well, there could be. I mean, that's easy enough to test. So you could, what probably the easiest thing to do is, like, I mean, I could do it, come over one of these weekends. I could bring the smoke machine that I put out for Halloween, and you basically turn on the air handler to, to circulate the air, and then you blow the smoke machine into the air handler, which is just basically, that stuff that they blow from like, Halloween stores. And you could see where it's going to blow out of the ductwork.
Oh, you could, I like that idea. That sounds fun.
Or use like, I mean, you could probably do it with like a vape pen, like blow into it, but you'd have to blow a lot of vape juice, to get it to circulate. They actually sell.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, they actually sell like option? Yeah, they sell like a kit, like a smoke machine. It's basically a smoke machine, and it's all it is it's like mineral oil that it just heats up, and it causes it to create like water vapor that blows out as smoke.
No, I like your smoke machine idea. We should put that on YouTube, and
and
people
like
can say, no, don't do this.
So yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I don't think both of us would even fit up in our attic. There's no floor.
It's just a rafters.
You're walking on studs.
Yeah, that's what I did when I fell through the one down here.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I'll wait till Katie's out of the shower and then I'll go up there.
Nice. I mean, you could probably.
Our ceiling fan stopped working too.
Oh no! Did you see that video I posted? You sure it's not wired wrong?
What?
The fan was.
Which one's wired wrong? The new one or the old one?
Wait, was it a new one or an old one that died?
The old one.
Oh, okay. Another
different ceiling fan.
A more different fan died.
Yeah. Like it's just bad news. Our clothes washer's leaking.
Oh, Jesus.
Air conditioner sketchy. The ceiling. I want an old ceiling fan died.
It's like between that or like the issues I got with both my freaking cars now are basically like dying.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. I want to
this podcast.
I'll be right
back. In the attic.
Oh, that's fun. What are you doing in the attic?
We're gonna check that my air handler is working, which I think it is because air is blowing out of the vents.
Yeah,
now.
And that's at least telling you that the blower's working.
Right. But it's probably it's got to be a really old blower. I don't know when they put that thing in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, because there are rooms where the air pressure is weak, which could be. So John was saying, well, I'll just bring over my smoke machine and we'll use that to find if there's any leaks in your ductwork in the attic.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So should I start driving and do this via remote while we're driving?
No.
You're going to drink and drive? Is that what you're going to do?
No, he's going to drink and troubleshoot my air conditioner.
Nice.
I'm
nice.
not drinking tonight.
Look at this. See, I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt today, so.
I thought about getting a Hawaiian shirt.
I still don't see your video. I still have the cameras crossed out.
Both of them? His and mine?
Yeah, both of them.
I see yours, John. I see you.
I see Eric.
Yeah, so it's something on my side then. So weird.
I've got my last beer that was in the fridge, so dilly y'all.
Freaking Android.
Well, it used to work. How?
Yeah, when you had your Apple product.
It worked.
No, it worked with this one.
It worked in your house though on the Wi-Fi. I'm wondering if your cheap, crappy 5G is not good enough to handle it.
No, it wasn't working. I actually got off the Wi-Fi last week because it wasn't working and thought maybe it would work on the 5G.
Ah.
Oh God.
Maybe they haven't enabled my 5G stuff yet, so I'm still not robotic overload.
I will say, Eric, your message has finally sank in about Bud Light, because
that it's terrible beer.
We had that, and also the shenanigans they did. We had some friends over for a bonfire and some beer, and I had bought a 12-pack of Bud Light because it was the cheapest one there. I think their prices are probably going down. And
Yeah, they
I had it
lost.
in my cooler, and I opened the lid, and this guy looks in there, and he stops, and he looks at me, he goes, "Bud Light," and it became a thing. And he's like, "You got to stand for something," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Well, you gotta
Dilly,
stand for
dilly,
something,
dilly.
but no
See,
offense. Aside from all the stuff, the shenanigans they've done now, I've said this. It's a dead horse. I can tell you the last beer I had that was Bud Light. I could tell you where I was, what it tasted like, and Budweiser products in general. Budweiser, Bud Light, anything that Beechwood aged. Man, the next morning I am not a fun person to be around. No
So
offense, I get a little stinky, if you follow what I'm saying. So
yeah. So
he's
I think
got the
I won't be
fart.
buying Bud Light anymore until they've redeemed themselves. However
they're
that
not
may
going to
be.
redeem themselves
So
because they're
Maybe they'll sponsor the
VP of
show.
marketing or their VP of marketing or CEO. Somebody basically, if I recall right, told the demographic to kiss their ass. So I think that's kind of lit a fire under their, the boycotting type of thing.
Yeah.
But I've been boycotting them since like 04 just because it was terrible beer.
So I just linked in the WhatsApp, and I'll put it in the video description later, that their whole series of commercials they had with the dilly dilly, where it was like the guys in like medieval England, the kings and queens and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I
like,
love those.
yeah, that was like hilarious. Like, and that's the kind of crap that they got to go back to like win me back. But I never really drank Bud Lights. I couldn't tell you if it was any good or not. I've always been a Miller Lite or a regular light fan. It's like this.
It used to be a cold. What's
This
my
is just
favorite
it.
beer? Cold. So if Bud Light was cold and it was there, I drank it. But there was just that one beer that turned me off, and it just
Bad beers like bad sex, man. You just never want to deal with it again.
yeah, something like that.
The more you know.
But yeah, no, it's for me, it's a whole different story versus what they're doing now. So it's they did. There's been companies that have done marketing that I haven't agreed with over the years that I still stayed a customer.
Yeah.
This is just a marketing thing that whether I agree with it or not doesn't matter. I don't drink the beer. I'm not going to drink the beer. So it is what it is.
I mean, I sent you guys that link to, was it the Ford truck or whatever they made, the Raptor?
Mm-hmm. The Raptor,
the gay Raptor, because somebody commented that it was a gay looking truck. So their response is like, fine, we'll make a gay Raptor. Like, to me, it's like now they're just leaning into the whole meme of all that. Like, and I don't find that offensive, and I don't know like if people do, but it's like, to me that's hilarious, because in one of their videos, because somebody commented like, oh, that's the gayest looking Ford Raptor ever. So their answer is like, all right, fine, we'll go spend God knows how much money painting a truck rainbow colored and film a commercial for it because you think it's gay, like just to show you
Raptor's a nice truck. I wouldn't say
it is, but I mean, like, I'd rock that truck. I don't care what the color is because it's a Raptor.
I don't think I would like that color, but
you know what? I would not care. I would not, because you know why? Because like, to me, it's like it provokes the conversation. And granted, it may provoke some people to do stupid shit because somebody's gonna want to vandalize it or whatever. But
if people do dumb shit to begin with.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're never going to avoid that. There's stupid people who do stupid shit. That's just the way the world works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of things. If I see something that mentions Bud Light or Target or Kohl's or excuse me,
Menards
is a whole nother story, and they can kiss my nards. The people, I hate to go there, but I guess I'll have to go there. People that would be considered leftist versus a right winger. The leftists are going, oh, now look at your cancel culture now, blah 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 blah. Well, what about Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben, or
they got rid of all those characters.
The Land O'Lakes Indian.
Yeah.
I mean, we took all those prominent, marketing characters, although I believe Aunt Jemima was a legit person. Excuse me.
I don't know if she was based off of a legit person, but I think she was based off of like the caricature. You get a little tickle?
Yeah, I got a little tickle. I'm sorry. So, if we're gonna be pissed off at the Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney thing, we might as well be pissed off at the Land O'Lakes Indian and the Mrs. Butterworth, Aunt Jemima, and Uncle Ben. So,
yep,
it is what it is. If you like the product, buy it. If you don't buy it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Who cares?
Although,
sorry. Oh, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna let Bud Light's idiocracy and decision-making process, that one guy that did that, sway me one way or the other. Like, if I'm not going to drink their beer, I'm not going to drink their beer. I don't care what color the can is.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But when the marketing department decides to kind of insult the demographic, I think that's where the demographic is telling Bud Light, hey, kiss my ass. We're the ones paying your bill.
And see,
we're the ones buying your product. Why are you pissing us off?
The funny thing is they say that also about like actors, actresses, sports figures. Like,
I agree with that.
What's the saying? You never want to meet your heroes because they could turn out to be an asshole. And there's been plenty of them that, like, you interact with them and they snub you. Prime example, you and I went to that Walker Stalker Con, and they were doing those panels for all the guys on The Walking Dead. And I don't know whatever the hell it was. It might have been Glenn, the guy that plays Glenn. I don't remember what his name is now.
Steven Yeun.
Yeah, he was like walking away from his booth, and the handler, the person that's walking with him, is like trying to shoo people away because they were like, oh, I want to take a picture, take a cell phone picture or whatever, shake his hand. And they're like, no. And he's like stopping and like, no, like, because he realizes that we're the people that basically are the reason he is who he is and why he's getting paid
why he's
to do that.
Job.
Yeah, like don't bite the hand that feeds you and piss off those people, which is basically what those idiots at Bud Light did. Now, it may not reflect all the feelings of everybody at Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch, I should say.
Exactly.
But,
in beverage or whatever it's called.
Yeah. The fact that they put that other guy in or that lady in after the fact, and she just basically doubled down and was like, fuck you, we don't care. Like, come on, I don't like it almost not smart. But it almost seems like it's like they're trying to just tear him down from the inside. Because, like, I can't believe anybody in upper management thought that was a good idea to put somebody else in place that expresses the same feeling. It's like,
yeah, it doesn't understand the demographic. Like, I read an article where the guy that did the Budweiser Frogs, the What's Up guys, the Clydesdales, he did all that like 20 years ago, and he was commenting about this one $2 can that was made that, he's like, I spent 20 years building up this brand to be where it was at, especially with the Clydesdales, because the Clydesdales are iconic. And,
yeah.
And he's like, one $2 can or whatever it was just completely destroyed everything. He's like, that was dumb. So
yeah, they lost I think I sent that picture or whatever, the link. There was somebody was saying that like all their beer, like even Dan said it was the cheapest one. It's going on sale for like $3 for like a case because nobody's buying it.
Yeah,
and places can't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, if I drank beer and I liked Bud Light, I'd be, I'd probably have a can right here, just being like, "Hey, cheers!"
But that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks that like I wouldn't be that petty to let that sway me from whatever, using their product, whether it's a beer or whatever. But like, I gotta think like the people who are that adamant that whether they are against transgender, whatever they identified as, that they're willing to basically give up that whole product line for that. Like, to me, that's a scary proposition because those are the people that,
if
like, in my mind, those are the people in my mind that are like, that are prone to doing like off the wall shit.
I would say that it's, like you're burning Colin Kaepernick jerseys because he took a knee and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
One, you bought the product already.
Yep.
Two, I forget where I was going. My old age. Oh my God. Yes. If you don't, people are allowed to have their own opinions.
Yep.
Now, sports figures, actors, musical artists, if they're going to take a stance on something, they're allowed to have their own opinions, and it's a double-edged sword. They're allowed to voice their own opinions, but they're also in a role where you could alienate 50% or more of your demographic or clientele. Colin Kaepernick's football player.
I think they have to recognize that if they're going to make that decision to sway one way or the other.
George Clooney, Kid Rock,
yep.
Bobby De Niro. No offense, have your own opinions. You're allowed to have your own opinions.
I mean, you look at you or me. If you,
I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, but if you say like you rant how much you hate Bud Light, piss water, whatever, you're not gonna sway.
I've been saying it for 20 years.
Right, so right. I mean, but you're not that public figure that's gonna piss off 60% of your fan base. That's gonna alienate you now and go, oh my God, I can't believe Eric said that. I hate him. I'm never gonna listen to his podcast again. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, there's a certain point where you get people. Oh, we lost Dan.
Oh, lost Dan.
he's roaming around he's roaming around his backyard. I don't, he's outside again.
He's like, I'm tired of hearing about Bud Light. So am I. No offense.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of their beer, and it has nothing to do with the current issues.
No. And that's the thing is, I think
that's what I was saying. If I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say that it's dumb for whatever side of the cancel culture you're on to get rid of the Land O'Lakes Indian, very American. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Bud Light, Target.
Look at all the sports teams that now got to change their, the Fighting Illini got to change their mascot. All these teams with the Redskins got to change their name. I mean,
now the Washington Redskins. I'm Commanders now. Sorry, I'm irritated with you. So anybody from the Commanders paying attention, we have to have a chat because they can't copyright the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, they got to change their name again, right? Yeah.
Yeah. If they don't change their name to the Washington Sentinels, you guys have missed a major league Cleveland Indians.
But I don't think they could use that name because it's been used in the movie franchise and it's intellectual property.
You pay the people off.
I would think if you're that sports team and you want to embrace that as much as possible.
I will go buy a Falco jersey right now if they come out and say,
"Oh yeah, if they ever did that, I would buy one. I'd be the hell yeah, I'd buy one
without question." Yes,
I would be like, you know what? Question. I will get a jersey and I will put his name on the back.
I want a Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn jersey.
There you go.
Cleveland Indians jersey, but yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think you're right. It's a lot of these people and. I think this also kind of rolls into the whole issue we've had with, the other horse that we've been beating to death, the shootings, the mass shootings of these transgender people that are acting out or the day of reckoning, all that crap, because they're following something and they believe in something so strongly. And Bud Light, they make a change. And now those people that are so strongly ingrained in that belief are basically like going ape shit, and it's essentially, I equate it to like they're radicalized because they stand up now and they're fighting for that. And it's like the guy that shut up the schools,
well, both sides are extremely radicalized.
Oh yeah, I mean it doesn't matter whether it's a transgender person shooting up a school or a straight person shooting up a school. I think it's the underlying issue is they're so strongly believing in what they perceived to be true or real, that they're letting it affect them to the point that they're making these decisions to go out and do this crap. And maybe, that's the same thing that this guy decided when he made that canon, put it out there, because, whatever his belief system is, that this Mulvaney person should have a can for whatever reason, like, he went and basically ran with it and threw caution to the wind, and look at where it got him. He lost his job. He screwed the company. I mean, the guy's name is tarnished. Like, the problem is it goes both ways. So now that he's been that extreme, there is somebody that's going to go, we need a guy like you to work for us, because they have that same belief. And they're just going to keep feeding into that. And that's the problem is, not saying this guy's going to go work for another company and shoot up a school, but it may have been a good choice for him, because somebody that extreme is going to realize that he would be a good fit for them. Whereas the same thing with these guys that go, or these transgenders that go and join these groups and these discords or whatever, and they're basically getting radicalized to say, now we're going to go shoot up the school because they're banning transgender discussion in the classroom. Like, I don't know, like, where do you, I wouldn't even know where you start to combat that, or like look at that as a broader issue, because it affects everything. And we're seeing that now, and we're seeing it more so the last 3 years, when everyone's started being locked down at home and going crazy.
Yeah, with our Ronas. Yeah, the Rona kind of really fucked with everybody.
Well, I think
I was still at work, so I wasn't locked down. I didn't have to stay at home. So.
But the problem is you had these people that, they felt like they may have already been a little unhinged, and they're at work, and their belief is like, I'm not going to get vaccinated. He might be, the crazy conspiracy theory guy. We laugh at everything he says. He's good to keep around, but whatever. And as soon as this shit breaks and they're saying, we're going to force you to take the jab, now this guy turns full-blown conspiracy nut. I'm not going to do it. They're putting 5G microchips in my brain, whatever. Now that guy goes home because he either loses his job or the company closes for the 2 weeks or whatever it is, or he gets laid off because he refuses to do that.
Hashtag loyal to the foil, baby.
There you go. I need to get some and wear a hat. But I mean, those are the kind of people that ended up building that following on your TikTok, on your YouTube, on Twitter, wherever. And now you've got these influencers that literally, like, if you look at them, they came to prominence like at the start of like 2021, end of 2020.
I'm sure there's
because now they have a voice, and they're sitting at home with nothing else to do. So what are they going to do all day long?
And I'm sure that there's influencers for both sides of the coin.
Oh, there are, but I think it's brought more of them out of the woodwork the last few years, especially. You look at there's trends that anybody will, you can Google it and research it yourself, where they'll say usage on your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube, your Facebook feeds, your Twitter, and everything else, like tripled and quadrupled and even more in the last 3 years alone than they've ever seen. Companies like Twitch, when they did the streaming, they had like a growth of like 2,000% people wanting to stream video games like the first 6 months of 2020. And
there's
like
the one girl that sits there and watches videos, and she gets paid how much money to watch videos. No offense, people. I can sit here and put funny videos up on the screen, and we can laugh and make fun of people. We can do that.
So reaction videos are a hilarious thing.
They're called reaction videos.
Reaction videos.
Didn't know.
And see,
videos.
So this is the whole thing, because I always wondered, like, if I put music on my YouTube and it's copyrighted, I can get hit with a copyright takedown notice, and that video can't be monetized. Not that we're being monetized because we're not big enough, but if you put up the music video for that company in like the corner of the screen and you and I are watching it and reacting to it, that's okay, because it's your opinion, and it's basically you reacting to that video. And that's what people there's people that have literally made like entire lifestyles or like their livelihood is basically just watching other people's videos.
I want to sit in a gamer
ridiculousness. They've been doing it for 15 fucking years.
Yeah, exactly. I could be annoying and
they're the OG reaction videos.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't America's Funniest Home Videos be
well, okay,
OG?
that, you know, I mean, but all those things, that one, Tosh, what was the other one? The one with Joe McHale, the news one where he did, it was on like Comedy Central. Yeah. I mean, that's all like, that's literally all it is reaction videos. And
is he coming back?
He said he would. He said be back later, but I mean, like, you know, we're going off on tangents here, but ridiculousness, their whole business model is other people's content that they put out there.
I haven't watched Ridiculousness since 1998 when The Undertaker threw Mankind off the cage in Hell in a Cell.
Oh my God, as God is my witness, that man broken in half. He had a family, Gene.
That's wrong. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. Don't hate me for it. Let's see. Let's go through my show notes here. Oh, HVAC guy's here.
Okay. So maybe he's low on refrigeration. Nice.
And where's the leak? Where's the leak?
Yeah, it's probably out back. Maybe you got a pipe or something.
Because it's a closed system.
Yeah, but I mean, there is, you know, it's not like a permanently closed system. It's going to have over time.
It's well, you got rubber seals and stuff.
Yeah, and over time, some of that stuff's going to leak out. But yeah, I mean, it's like your cooling system on your car. That's a quote unquote closed system. But you know, you could break something.
You got rubber gaskets and all that stuff, and so it's a closed system. But where's the leak? What's are you leaking at the compressor? Are you leaking in one of the lines? I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a cooler at my current job, and then there was a air handler rooftop unit at the resort where they would have to add Freon every 6 months, year, depending how the summer was.
Yeah.
They're like, we've traced down these lines and we could not find the leak. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to find it now. I found the leaks and got them repaired, but.
Well, I mean, it's like with your car. They can put that UV reactant dye in there, run it for a little bit, and see where it is. Yeah, that too. But I mean, the dye, at least if you put it in the system, it'll go throughout the whole system and you'll see it easier. But
we just use soapy bubbles.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh.
And I mean, I guess if it's that
thermal
old,
expansion valves.
If it's that old, then I guess that could go bad, right?
Yeah, TXVs are junk. Yeah, they go bad all the time. Thermal expansion valve.
Nice.
Glad I don't have to put that in there. Well, I wonder if he's going to use that new Freon that. The
1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the hell it is.
Whatever that new one is, it's not ozone depleting. See, global warming is just payback for the Titanic. We're melting all the fucking polar ice caps just to get back at the Titanic.
Nice.
Let's see.
So how about this? I saw a tweet. I can't remember who it is, so I apologize if you're watching and it's your tweet. Post about it in the comments. But they said there should be an Olympics where athletes can take as many drugs and enhancement stuff as they want.
Amen to that one.
Because I mean, like, fuck it. Let's see how high humans really can jump.
I am definitely in on that.
I think that would be hilarious, though. Like, could you imagine, like, just?
Well, but the question is, because if someone is a trans athlete, female going to male and taking the drugs, no offense, as a male, I don't identify as a male. I was born a male. I've had testosterone flowing through my body for 46 years.
Yeah.
My bone density, my muscle mass, and everything else, pound for pound, I am stronger.
Yeah.
You are stronger. where do we cut that line off? Because then now that person is on testosterone and probably taking more than what would be flowing through my body.
But I still think
I'm
it's
asking a question. I'm not going one way or another, but
no. But I mean, we had this discussion, I think, in a previous episode where we talked about that. Was it the girl that was trans, that the MMA fighter that got her ass beat because she stepped in the ring with like an actual male athlete, MMA fighter who was like twice her size? And
no, wasn't it? It was a trans male. The male was going to female, and wasn't the fighter female?
Oh yeah. He beat the crap out of her. Yeah. I mean, either way, it's the same thing because the funny thing is, though, well, okay, take that back. It's not the same thing because a female going trans to male, coming into a predominantly male-dominated sport, boxing, football, whatever, is not, in my mind, not genetically because they're not a male. They're not built the same. Like you said it, their whole life they've been a female. Estrogen, less testosterone, less this, less muscle mass, whatever. They're never going to be able to compete with a 300-pound linebacker who's been male his whole life and possibly juicing his whole career.
But then an argument with that would be, what was that, the tennis player, the female tennis player that played that one guy in like the 70s, and she like kicked his ass?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't think he was.
I'm thinking more of like
a
contact sport.
Professional tennis player, like a male tennis player, and put it in Andre Agassi in his prime versus Martina Navratilova. I think that's an old tennis player, right? Would Andre Agassi be able to beat Martina Navratilova?
It hasn't that been done? Like legit male and female against each other as like just playing?
I've never looked, so I don't
know the sad thing is like you think of sports, they're predominantly.
I mean, that's why we have female sports.
Well, that's the thing is they're predominantly split. You've got male and female, and that's it. You don't really combine the two. Now you could say like, oh, figure skating's a sport, and they do male, female, whatever. I'm talking more of, but even then, I'm talking more of like a contact sport. So your boxing, your wrestling, your MMA, even like a football, even something like a baseball, where like you could put a female in any of those roles. Females play softball. Female softball players kick ass. They pitch 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put them on a field with an MLB player, I don't know that they could hold their own. But the reverse could probably be true, where if you put somebody like, a male baseball player on a softball field with women who've been doing that their whole life and their whole career, I think
I'd be curious to see that.
Well,
to see who would,
that would be interesting to see. Yes, but like
just as a informational, not like
who's. Well, no, I think that would be either hilarious or really eye opening as to how they're actually different in each sport, because that's the thing is like the fundamental play style.
We're not going to show Patty melt that. Sorry.
That's all right. The fundamental play style between baseball and softball is kind of the same. Yeah. You hit the ball, you run around the bases, you score runs, whatever. How it's played is different, especially from a pitching aspect. Underhand, overhand. The fact that you can get some of these women who can throw it underhand almost as fast, if not faster, than a pro MLB pitcher can.
Which is wild.
It scares the shit out of me. Like,
I would honestly, you know what? If anybody's out there listening, I would like to stand there in the batter's box with a professional, major league pitcher throwing a fastball.
I swear to God,
7-mile-an-hour fastball, and I'd like to go against. Do they have professional softball, or is it like collegiate? A collegiate softball.
I don't know if there's like a professional female softball.
To see how the ball comes at you differently from overhand MLB versus underhand.
Yeah.
Well, that's bowling, but I'd be curious to see that.
Yep.
That would be something fun. I think I would like to. I'm not even saying I would be able to hit it.
I can tell you right now. So when I go to the batting cage with the grandson, just like the old batting cages we used to have there in Mount Prospect by that whatever the hell it was.
Square.
Yes, the Baker Square in
Bob
the
Evans, yeah.
Bob Evans. Yes.
Down on the farm.
So they have slow, medium, fast pitch baseball, slow, medium, fast pitch softball. I do slow baseball. I've done slow softball. I did medium baseball and I hit maybe 80-90% of them. I did fast baseball and I got the hell out of there because it scared the shit out of me because it was like 80 miles an hour. And I'm like, I took a swing, I hit maybe one, and I'm like, that's it, I got to stop this because just see that thing come at you. Yeah. And they've got this stupid like giant rubber mat that, the backstop, and it hits that thing so hard. It's like the thwack. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done. Like, nope.
I didn't know that they had like softball there. I think I would like to try that.
I'm going to say the next time I take him, I swear to God, I should bring my GoPro. I did medium softball, and I don't know. They don't tell you like what the speeds are, but they do have warnings that it is fast. And their fast softball has got to be like crazy fast then. But the medium softball was like, I would guess it's 60, 70 miles an hour. It is freaking fast. And even though it's always coming at the same place, roughly the same place from the same, the same machine, it's like, even knowing that, I maybe hit 2 or 3 of those things. But damn, like going against somebody who has control and can do different pitches, sliders, curveballs, whatever they do, like there's no way. Like I would love to see pros do that against, like a collegiate level and vice versa, because I think, or maybe it would be to say like, okay, collegiate baseball and collegiate softball, girls softball, because they're more on the same level, I think, physically, because you've got, you're not having a 19-year-old softball pitcher girl pitch against a 40-year-old guy who's been juicing his entire career.
Well, juicing doesn't make you hit the ball any harder or any further.
But I think it enhances your reactions and your
not really
your
not
overall.
Really, not at all.
I mean, I wouldn't really know what it does. I always assumed it was like
it basically increases your nitrogen retention. That's really all. It's just, and your recovery. You still need to eat. You still need to train. You still need to do all that. He has an old R22 unit. Dan, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Freon is, the last time I had to fill a R22 system, it cost us
Good
$5,000
Lord.
and just Freon alone.
Yeah, he said $300 a pound.
If you have R22, that's gold.
Because they don't make it anymore, right?
No, it's been 23 years. I know a place what the hell year? 2021? When I was at the hospital, they had, I don't know, maybe 75 pounds of it.
So he's
maybe
got
80, I don't remember.
If it's that old, like 20 years, his unit's got to be probably that old too, as long as he's been in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
Wow.
R22, some good stuff, but man, that's gonna whack him. And it's a Friday night at 8:00, and that's so far his bill is probably just in Freon. So let's say
I'm gonna say the visit alone is about $1,000 at least for the guy to show up and tell him that.
No, guys I know that do it years ago. It was $400 for him to walk in the door. Just to walk in the door.
And that's like non-emergency, right?
No, that's an emergency call.
Yeah.
4 bills. I should have stayed in HVAC and not gone into building maintenance.
I don't know, it's just weird to me that it's that.
But
I guess if you've never had a reason to replace it in 20 years, I think he's gotten his money worth out of it.
Agreed.
I mean, that's money well spent. Now, if he told me he just put that system in like 5 years ago, although he probably would have had R22 even then.
No, he probably would have had 130.
Yeah.
No,
134A?
134 or 410.
So
410?
134A, I thought, is the stuff, is it?
I don't know. They're changing so much up. Because they got rid of 410 for the new one. That's right.
Yeah. So, okay. So 134A is a replacement for R12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap. Even if
Yeah, 410A is the refrigerant that replaces R22. So the funny thing is you can't purge that system and refill it with R410.
No, if I recall right, no, because it's different pressures and seals.
See,
if I recall correctly.
That seems like a racket to me because, like, according to what I just Googled, R410A does the exact same thing without the ozone depleting chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so why couldn't you do it at the same pressures as R22?
It's just, you got to make money somehow.
Exactly.
And then everybody that had R22 equipment, you now had to get R410. I mean, granted, all you really needed to do was get tanks, but
that's just big AC trying to keep demand down and make their pockets.
Yeah, planned obsolescence from big HVAC.
Big HVAC.
Freaking Friggies. Of course, I really shouldn't say anything. Yeah, that's like the nickname.
Oh my god.
HVAC guys have for each other. They're Friggies.
Do you ever watch the show Community?
No.
Oh god, it's hilarious. It's got what's his name?
I am a fellow Friggie, by the way. So
yeah, you used to do that,
right? Technically, I still do it. I don't do it as much at the school. Just the units are maintained, and they don't get hit with like cottonwood and stuff as much. But when there's issues, I'm the one that goes up and troubleshoots it and sees what's going on. And
gotcha.
If it's basic belt, control board, filters, basic stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have the equipment to recapture Freon. I don't have the equipment to braze in new lines or anything like that.
I don't know if there's any Friggies, as you call them, that watch the podcast or listen to it, but in the community, that show, the Community, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino,
mm-hmm.
He plays a character that goes into the college's HVAC program.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they portray that whole program, like, I've had people tell me that that's pretty much what, like, it's really like. And I'm like, that's just
Community?
It's so corny to me, because it's like
check it out.
They're their own little, like, niche area that, like, they don't believe in anybody else, and they think what they do is, like, God's gift to the environment, because they're refrigerating the air and conditioning the air.
No offense, if your AC goes out and it's 90 degrees out,
yeah,
who are you gonna call?
Yeah,
you're gonna call Ghostbusters, or you're gonna call a Friggie?
Right.
Our AC went out last year, and I don't have access to parts, so unfortunately I couldn't fix it. So I had to call the guy, and it was just one of the caps, the capacitor. Which 20 minutes he was gone. So
but if you're not licensed to fix it, can you still fix it as far as, like, the school's concerned?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, I can fix anything there. I mean, I am certified in HVAC, so I mean, I can fix pretty much everything there. It's whether or not I have the parts, can get the parts, and the main thing is time.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only maintenance guy, so I
can't believe you do that whole school by yourself. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So who does, like, all the painting? When you said you got guys that do, like, the painting, who are those people?
Me.
But who's like who else do you have?
Me.
That's it? I thought you said you had somebody else that does something, or is that like the old guys that used to do it?
No, I have the old head custodian used to paint.
Oh, the custodians. Okay. So the custodians don't report to you, though, right?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Oh, they do, but they don't do like maintenance stuff. They're literally just janitors.
They're custodians. Yeah. They
gotcha.
they clean. They're wonderful. Not that they're ever going to listen, but They are wonderful.
Even if they do, that's cool though. I mean, that's
I'm putting that out there. They are fantastic. I love my ladies, Rafina, Celia, Paladia. You're amazing. I love it.
Nice.
So, I try to.
Give them a shout out.
Yeah, most definitely. We're gonna try something this year at the school. We're gonna try 410s.
Oh, that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet.
So
rotate them.
The three of them will be off on Mondays, and then I'll be off on Fridays. So
that'll work though. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that again, I think just like the work from home crap, it only applies to certain environments. But like I've seen a lot of people say that the 4-day work week is like really a big thing that they're pushing like in other countries and stuff too. And I don't know. I mean, I could see, and then they're not talking like 410s. They're literally talking a 4-day, 32-hour work week.
That'd be nice.
And you still get paid your full salary. Because what is it, the UK they're doing that, or Italy or somewhere they started doing that. I could see something like that work for like you guys if you had like staggered it. Like so if you say your 4-day work week is Monday through Thursday, somebody's is like Tuesday to Friday, and maybe you got like somebody who's there over the weekend, they're Thursday to Monday, and then like
I'm there weekends.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, that's coming from an IT job, I fully understand the 24/7 on call shit, especially with alerts. This one and then this one for work is constantly at my side because if the shit hits the fan, I'm the one they call. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get texts which we have an IT guy. I don't understand. New alarm. The transmitter is unresponsive. Server room. New alarm. No offense. Why is that coming to the maintenance guy?
Yeah. See now to me, like
that's the IT guy.
That's so my role, like where I do that now. This is finally something I can talk about. Like my server room is my domain. If you're not IT and I don't trust you, now not that I don't trust the people that work for us, but like I don't want the building maintenance guy going into my server room. Like my HVAC and all my climate control in there is mine. And I've got contracts with whether it's ThermFlow or whoever to come check that shit and keep it maintained. And he can get in there, but that's really only like if, a pipe on the floor above is burst and there's water leaking into my server room and he's got to do something about it. That's it. Like we have an understanding where it's like anything that goes on in the server room is me and IT, me and my boss and my coworkers. And like any alerts that I get for like the door propped open because our help desk guys store shit in there. They prop a door open and it triggers an alert that says, hey, the door's not closed. I get a call and I got to go, what the hell? And I call the help desk manager right away because I know he's the only real other guy that's authorized to go in there to get stuff out of storage. And I go, hey, are you guys in the office at 6:00 on a Friday night? Oh yeah, we're sending out laptops. All right, make sure you close the door when you're done. And that's fine. But like, if it goes off on a Sunday morning, I got to get my fucking car and drive out there to figure out what's going on. Cause like there's nobody that should be in that building opening that door.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anywhere I've ever worked that's had like a specific server room, the hospital, any of the
that's
other
always
schools,
under IT's domain.
The only thing that was under IT's domain was basically the servers. If it was HVAC related, power related, that was my problem. That wasn't your problem.
See, I don't know. The only reason I would say I'm not okay with that is because, like, so we work in healthcare. We have a lot of patient data and personal info, PHI, HIPAA, all that crap comes into play. If you're in that, but if you're in that server room and you should not have access to that data, you're basically breaking our HIPAA policy because you're just by being in that server room. Now, my role, I have essentially access to everything. I can go in the server room. Not to say that you would get in front of the computer and know what to do or plug in a drive on the server or whatever. But like, that's where we segregate the duties. But even then, we segregate the duties. So like, I go to the building management. I don't let them in. Like, they don't go in there if they don't have to. And if anybody's got to go in it, yeah.
Building maintenance, that's another story.
But see, that's the thing. Even our maintenance guy doesn't.
It's still my building, so to speak.
It is, and I work with him on stuff like that. But like, I manage ThermFlow. I got ThermFlow coming in every quarter, and they email me and they go, "Hey, we're doing your HVAC checkup in the computer room." I say, "Okay, meet me at the office this day." I go to the office, I meet him, I let him in, I walk him around, I let him on the roof so they can check the condensers. But they only deal with our stuff. They don't deal with the building stuff because the building stuff does their own thing.
Then you're going onto my roof. You shouldn't be going onto my roof.
I don't. The HVAC guy does. No way in hell you're going to get me up there to do that. No way. It'll pay me to do that. I'm IT. I don't fucking climb ladders.
That's honestly one thing I kind of miss about being at the resort, was being on the roof looking over on the lake. I kind of miss that.
The last place I worked at, when we had that warehouse out in McCook by the quarry, we used to get up there because we had the line of sight microwave antenna dish for internet connectivity that would point to like downtown Chicago. Dude, you go up there on a clear day, like I could stand on that roof and look, and I could see like the entire downtown skyline, and that was still like 60 miles away. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, when I worked at Zenith over in Glenview, you go all the way.
It's like a 10-story building or whatever. Yeah,
you go up to the maintenance floor, and you go up and you go on top of the roof, and you'd stand there. You'd go on there on like a July 4th, and you'd look all around.
Oh yeah,
all the way to Chicago. You'd see everybody's fireworks. It was so much fun.
Yep.
But it was fun. If the hospital would have worked out a little better, I probably would have had the same thing because, it was high up.
Yeah.
But it didn't work, so kind of sucks.
It is what it is.
But I'm also that way. I'm gonna now that school is out today, I'm gonna be taking my girls to daycare, and they're at the school. They're both gonna be at the school still, and we can walk to work.
So your school does daycare there then, like during the summer?
Yeah, our daycare program. They had a building down the street, and then they rented out 1, 2, 3 rooms, and I think they're moving into a 4th.
Wow.
So, and then they have their own fenced off playground. So they have a daycare on site.
So is that run by the school, or is it like a private daycare?
It's a private daycare. It's a separate entity.
Okay. So, that's cool though that they do that.
If you're a member of the community, or you work in the community,
you can bring your kids to daycare and pay for it there. Yeah.
If they have an opening, you get your own key card to get in.
That's awesome. That's cool though, because if you've still got to go to school and it's close enough, you might as well. I mean, like you work all summer either way, right? You're working all year long. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's like the wife. She's got just got that promotion, and eventually she's got to go in because she's got to. I don't even think she listens to the show, but I keep telling her she's got to.
It's probably better she doesn't.
Yeah. At some point, like, she may have to go in and start prepping for the stuff next year before the school year starts, her and her boss. And now that she's going to be dealing with the other campus, or this campus, and her boss going to the other one, I think it's going to be, there's a lot more work for her, I think, but it's, she wanted it. So it's good for her.
Yeah. Heck yeah. No, yeah. That's awesome. It's great. Patty Melt, she got a promotion.
Sweet.
They redid a whole bunch of things, and they gave her a promotion, and then she applied for a manager position
within the same company or elsewhere.
Yeah, within the same company. So she's gone through all sorts of interviews, and we're just waiting to hear to see if they are accepting of her or not.
Sweet.
Hopefully she gets it, because it'd be well, considering her promotion gave her an extra $5,000, I think it is. Yeah, a couple extra bucks, nothing too
bad.
But just a couple extra dollars. I think it'd be an extra $7,000. So,
I mean, that's respectable. You know,
Maybe we can go trade my car in for that Wrangler. So
I toy around with the idea, you know, looking at other jobs and talking to people and been doing interviews, and it's like you know, the grass may seem greener and maybe the options are there to make more money elsewhere, but like where I'm at now, it's a hell of a lot less stress than what I was doing before. You know, I got a great group of guys that work with me or for me now. And one guy reports directly to me. The other two have that dotted line because they report to the guy out in Vegas.
yeah.
But I mean, the sad part is, and I don't think anybody from my work listens, but like my boss is leaving March, I think it is. He's going to leave, retire.
Yeah.
So we're going through the process of interviewing his replacement. And it's weird because like I had 2 interviews this morning with 2 different people, and like the way we're doing the interviews, which I've never really done this, it's kind of like a panel. So it's me, like our director, a couple of the other managers. And because all of the group, we all work together kind of around the same thing, we all collaborate. So this guy is, you know, we're basically saying, hey, this is the group you would primarily be working with and collaborate with, as well as some of the other business partners and stuff like that, but primarily this IT bunch. And then we were like, okay, we'll do our little panel of questions to you, the interviewee. Anything you got for us? It was just basically a back and forth for about an hour. And then at the end, the director's like, okay, well, we'll let the other guys go. He's bringing in my boss who's leaving to do another interview. And it's weird because like, usually if you're applying for a position, it's already like open in the sense that like somebody's already vacated it. Like you don't get a chance to interview the person you're replacing or talk to them. So like
exactly.
it's weird to me because like in the last, you know, 20 years prior to this, anybody that I've ever like job I've taken or anybody I've interviewed, it was for an open position to replace somebody that left or was let go or whatever. So now exactly. I'm like, I'm essentially going to have, if they hire somebody before he leaves next year, I'll basically have 2 managers. Yeah. Because I'm going to have one that's going out the door and one that's going to replace him that's doing knowledge transfer. And it's going to be weird. And I mean, I get the whole concept, and it's just odd to have to deal with that because it's not a common thing.
So do you ignore the manager that's leaving and just pay attention to the new one?
I gotta say, you know, Mike, I'll call him out. If you listen, you know, he's been an awesome manager, and I've learned a hell of a lot from the guy. And I think the scary thing for me is I don't know what's coming to replace him. Like I could sit there and interview a guy and he could nail all the questions and get all the right answers, and he could come in and be a total asshole, you know, or it could be a whole 180. This guy could be everything we're looking for, you know, and that scares me the most. And it's like, I think dealing with that as opposed to like even the prospect of looking for a new job myself and going through that whole process, that's scary because there's a lot of unknowns there. Like this is worse because like this guy could make or break the rest of my career, especially if we don't get along, or this guy, the girl, whoever replaces him, could be shitty and we just don't get along. And then what? You know, am I forced out? You know, like it's stressful.
Honestly, there's been times where if I see the writing on the wall, I just jump ship.
Well, and I'm
out.
That's kind of what I did with the last place. Like we went through, I don't know, 3-4 different quote unquote restructurings. The major one was basically when we outsourced everything in IT, including our help desk. And I'll never forget it when they made the announcement that they were partnering with the company to outsource everything, our data center and all that shit. They sat us all in a meeting room, the whole IT department, all like 85 of us. A rep from that company was there, I think 2 reps were there, and they were touting how great this was going to be. It's going to be cohesive. We're going to partner together in this. It's going to be a great transition. And the CIO at the time that they had put in place was basically, I swear to God, he was paid to be the bad guy. He was paid to fire us because he came in and he looked at us all, 85 of us, and he's like, some of you guys are affected by this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And when we found out who it was good. The company took care of them. They got good severance. They did all that other stuff, whatever. But the whole thing is like, okay, some of you are going to go to this company to do knowledge transfer. So we had help desk people. I think we had like 3 or 4 that were affected that basically left us. Their last day was on a Friday. They got a huge severance, which I don't know, like 25 weeks or whatever, because it was like a week for every year.
Yeah.
And then that Monday they started a job with the other place. So like they got taken care of. But that Friday we were having a party, and it was because like we were wrapping up this whole thing, and this is how out of touch this guy was. He's up there and he's like, oh, this is great. We're all sitting around the table, and he's like, this is going to be great. We're partnering. We're doing this. We're doing that. And some of you guys are going to be affected, blah, blah, blah. And he brings in like a cake or whatever it was. And it was like a big thank you for everyone working on this project. And my coworker who was affected, I'll never forget it. She looked at it. She's like, it took everything I had not to scream at him and like just knock that cake off the fucking table. Cause he's like, the guy didn't even realize that the people he was firing were like still there. And he's like thanking them for what a great job they did. And it's like, that's a slap in the face. She's like, yeah, they took care of us and all that. But it's like, it's the guy was just so out of touch with reality of what was going on that like
people just get out of touch when they've
I think it's a thing though. Like legitimately, it's I swear to God, and I always say to myself, like, I could be a bad guy if you pay me enough money to do it. Like, if you want somebody to come in and restructure or reorg, and you want to pay me a ton of money for a year to basically sit there and fire people, and then I go to another company and do the same thing, like I could see like people make a living doing that. It's like
the axe murderer.
Yeah, they're basically brought in to be the bad guy, because then they hire new management or they move people into that management role long after it's been done.
Was that a George Clooney movie?
I don't know.
Well, he was.
Office Space,
Office or something.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Oh shit, I can't remember the name of it though.
Bought company. Yeah, what the hell name of it was? Shit. Nah, I'm not gonna look it up.
I'm Googling.
That's showbiz, baby. Yeah, I know. We know I'm fat because I'm full of experiences, and most of those experiences took place at a Mexican restaurant.
What?
I'm fat because I'm full of experiences, and most of those experiences took place at a Mexican restaurant.
Okay, it's called.
I like tacos.
It's a 2009 film called Up in the Air. The story is centered on traveling corporate downsizer Ryan Bingham, George Clooney, and Anna Kendrick, Jason Bateman, Vera Farmiga, a couple people. Is it a comedy or is it comedy drama? Huh, I'll have to go watch that.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
I'm an awesome Anna Kendrick fan. I love that resting bitch face she's got. Sorry.
I'm waiting for people to come pick up landscape stones.
Getting rid of them?
3 garbage cans. Yeah, I have 3 garbage cans full of landscape stones.
Nice.
So if you need some landscaping stones, I will personally deliver them to you.
What kind of stones you talking about? How big are they?
Small ones to big ones.
Like, are they square? Are they like trapezoid? What do they look like?
They're all different shapes and sizes.
Like from around the house?
Yeah, we had them around our house.
Oh, wow.
Which that reminds me, one of these days, coming up soon, I got to have you guys up for a bonfire.
Yeah.
So.
I got to have you guys come over here. Dan says we got to go by his house. So we'll have to do some remote podcasts.
Heck yeah. Hell yeah, we do.
Do it on a Saturday. Bring everything up there. I'll bring my laptop up there. I could throw OBS up there.
Yeah, I could bring the iPad and my headphones. Call it a day.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
well, I've only got 2 cameras, which is good because Dan doesn't use a camera. So
yeah, exactly. We'll have to give him one of those black Yee masks.
We'll blur him out. It'll be like those commercials or the shows where they talk to the guys that are leaking information or like conspiracy theories. We'll show his face. We'll blur him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be just like a dark shadow outline in a wall somewhere, and
and he touched my butt when he walked into the room. Yeah.
That would
So
be damn.
I heard this today, and I thought this was entertaining. You know the song "Smoke on the Water" by Deep Purple?
Yeah, I don't think that's actually the name of the song, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it? Okay. Some of those, it's like, I don't know.
I was listening to, I think it's the lead singer or whatever it is. I forget who it was. That song is based off of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony backwards or inverted. I'll send you the Instagram link. Where is it?
Beethoven wrote Smoke on the Water. Richie Blackmore stole Beethoven's what?
There we go. I'm sending it over to you. Yeah.
So the funny thing is they say, several years ago I took, I was just looking at like guitar stuff online, and that's like apparently one of the easiest riffs to learn to play. Yep. Because it's so simple.
And it's just Beethoven's. I sent you the link.
Yeah.
It's just Beethoven's Fifth inverted. I was like, what? So I played that. And I had Voldemort play it, and then I had Voldemort play the Fifth Symphony, and I was like, wait, what? Huh? I also sent this to you guys. A UFC fighter wants to fight 10 transsexual men in one night, one right after another. I forget who it is. He fought George St. Pierre. He fought GSP. Who is it? Jake Shields, who fought GSP for a title fight. He wants to fight 10 transsexual men. Now, I have two questions. Are we talking transsexual men that were women, like women transitioned into men, or are we talking men that transitioned into women? That's one question. And two, because it's such a ridiculous idea, how do I watch it? That's what I want to know.
So he wants to fight 10 in a row with no breaks in between.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of fighting.
Oh,
especially
okay.
If you take it to ground and pound.
So he has this challenge taken up by a furious trans wrestler, promises to wipe the floor with him. So wait a minute. These are men
transitioned into women?
To women that want to fight him? Or are they trans men in that they were women that became men?
I read in the comments that it was women that transitioned into men.
I honestly, and I don't know if I sound stupid, I probably am. Is that still considered transgender? Or does that only apply to like men to female to female?
No,
it's female to male is also considered.
Yes. But that
they don't clarify. At least on the screenshot you put in here, it doesn't clarify.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, one. Is it men that were men and now that they're women, or women that were women and now men?
I mean, if it's men that were men that are now women,
and how do we watch it?
Yeah, somebody's gonna have it on. Watch it. It's gonna probably be somewhere in Vegas. Some casino is gonna put it up there. I'm sure.
Was that was Diggstown, right? With the black guy from Iron Eagle, Lou Gossett Jr., where he was the boxer and he had to fight.
Beggs. Oh yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Diggstown, right? Was that
it? Yes.
I mean, that's just such a ridiculous idea to fight 10 people in one night.
Okay.
With no breaks.
So
at some point you got to pee or something.
Okay, so this guy that
Jake Shields?
No. So according to your, well, maybe this is the same guy, but according to that picture you put in, wrestler Mark Beggs. Now this is probably him, but his name is actually Mac Beggs, so your image is probably spelled wrong.
Probably.
He's an American former high school wrestler from Texas. He's a trans man. So state athletic rules only allowed him to compete in the league for the sex he was assigned at birth. And in 2017, he defeated Chelsea Sanchez in the girls' league to win the Texas girls. So he was a female that became a man.
That became a man. Okay.
And he's saying
so
he would beat this guy. He would kick this guy's ass. I mean, I don't know. I guess he defeated her in the 110-pound championship. That's a small person.
Yeah, that's a tiny person.
I mean, it's a female, basically, is what she was before.
Even as a female, that's tiny.
Yeah. It doesn't say.
Well, what is it? What are they, like 5 foot?
It's got to be, yeah. So, I mean,
and I still want to watch it. I don't care.
Now, so this is funny.
Goes through all 10, or those 10 beat the piss out of him. I don't care. I just want to watch it because it seems like it would be entertaining to watch.
So now this is funny to me because, and maybe the fact that all this is happening prior to all the stuff of this year and like last year, this is all citing stuff that happened in 2017, 2018. So even then, he was considered a trans man, but he could only fight in the girls' league because that was his sex at birth. Whatever.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
To me, that might seem fair because it's essentially, I mean, unless he's on some kind of hormone where he's getting like crazy guy strength. I don't know. But like, he's saying, so he defeated in 2017, he ended his season. 2 opponents forfeited because they didn't want to wrestle him. He ended that season with a 57-0 record in the 110-pound weight division. That's pretty impressive. And if that doesn't include the 2 people that forfeited, defeating 57 people is pretty damn good. In 2018, he became undefeated with a 32-0 record. Like, so clearly this guy is a good wrestler.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Shields guy is 171 pounds, 170 pounds.
So this, okay, here.
Well, he began fighting. Excuse me.
Okay.
So this dude's around 170 pounds. So right there, this dude's got,
at least a good 50, 60 pounds on this person.
Good 60-pound person.
Yeah. But so this is what I don't get. Back in 2017, this was going on. The state championships are considered controversial by some because of low doses of testosterone Beggs was taking beginning his high school freshman year, citing the possible advantages testosterone could give Beggs over his female wrestling competitors. Some wrestlers and their parents protested, and some even forfeited matches. Beggs took hormone blockers to prevent any advantage that could be perceived by the synthetic testosterone.
But that person still had the testosterone, the benefits of the testosterone.
So,
and depending how.
So in high school, he also competed in the boys division tournaments, including 3rd place Greco-Roman 3-person bracket, 3rd place freestyle wrestling at the U.S. Wrestling Texas State Championship.
And Texas kids are no joke. So, I mean.
So in 2018, he was allowed to wrestle as a collegiate level.
That was good.
He did not compete in 2018, 2019 due to double mastectomy surgery. Okay. I'm sorry. That's kind of like, that's a weird line to read. Like,
oh yeah. That's the new thing on like, not Twitter, Instagram, where like people that were females that had their boobs removed, they have the scars here, and it's like their badge of honor.
Wow.
It's weird. It's weird to see.
Oh, so he's in the news now because he went before, he testified before the Texas House of Education, opposing Bill 15, which would extend the state's limitations on transgender student athletes at the high school level into the public universities in Texas.
Everything so he's taken away from.
So he's basically saying he was a female, basically fully male now, it sounds like. He's gone through this surgery, that he would kick this guy's ass. But I still, like, where do I watch this? Because it'd be interesting to see this 110-pound guy.
You got a guy that's he fought George St. Pierre, so I mean he's for a title shot in UFC, so he's not exactly some Joe Schmo off the street saying, you know, Mark Beggs. You know, it's not like if Mark Beggs said he was going to kick my ass. You know, I'm just some idiot. You know, this is some, you know, professional fighter that is 60 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah. So back in 2018, he was in the 110-pound weight category, which I don't know, what is it, like plus or minus 5 pounds or something? Either way, I don't know.
I don't remember. I mean,
so you figure this guy maybe saying even now, if he's put on a little bit extra muscle,
20 pounds.
Yeah, $125. You're still 60 pounds less than this MMA guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's, at that point, you're already out of it. You're like out of a couple weight classes, right? I mean, I don't know much about MMA weight classes, but that seems like an awful lot.
Yeah, 120 pounds, no offense, 130 pounds. I got a bum hip. I'm 46 years old. That's pick you up, throw you across the room.
Yeah. Okay, here. 5'2", 125 pounds in 2021.
Okay.
I mean, that guy's a foot. He's a foot. He's 14 inches shorter than me, and probably
he's like chest level.
Yeah. I'm at 260. This guy's a $125. I got a good 140 pounds on this guy. Like, now, granted, if I probably wrestled him, he'd probably kick my ass because I don't know the first thing about wrestling. But like,
I'd take you 260 and just pancake.
Yeah. All you got to do is grab the guy and get him in a bear hug or something, and just throw him around a little bit. Like, I could fight dirty.
Yeah.
I don't like. It just seems like that'd be a little unfair.
Yeah, that's the difference between like this Mac
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, and like the Jake Shields guy. They're not going to fight dirty.
Well, no, but
unless somebody gets punched in the face and.
But I mean, I guess I'd have to see it. I didn't look too much into it. What are they talking about? Like so this guy Shields is talking about he wants to fight MMA people. I'm assuming it's going to be an MMA styled fight, whether it's like jiu-jitsu or whatever. This guy's this guy. I mean, realistically, he's a kid. He's what I say, 20 years old. He's a kid. He does wrestling, like Greco-Roman wrestling, and like freestyle wrestling.
Matt Hughes, he was a
but
wrestler.
If you start getting into like jiu-jitsu with like kicks, like you can't, like there's no way a wrestler's gonna take that crap.
Oh no, yeah, wrestling translates fairly well into MMA.
But that's mostly grapple and close, right? I mean,
all you got to do is just get in close, and then and you're starting into a wrestling.
But you get a good MMA guy who can throw some hands, and you're basically in trouble. Yeah, you're fucked. Or throw a good kick with his shin, and you're on the ground, and now the guy's pummeling on you. I mean, come on. Like, I guess I'd like to see the terms of that fight.
I would just like to see the fight. Honestly, it's.
Let's be honest though. In my mind, something like that is going to be more about the presentation of it than the actual fight. And it's going to be, it's going to probably, I hate to say it, it'd probably end up like one of those Jake Paul fights where it's really just so the guys can get paid and a bunch of people can make money, because it's a presentation.
You see him shake his hand and, he goes down. Now, the question is, what side of the coin you're going to be on? The 10 or the single, like the underdog or the 10?
See, like, I don't know. I mean, I would probably say like,
I'm going to stay Switzerland and just say I'm just there to watch people get grounded and pounded. I don't care who.
Yeah, but I would kind of root for this Mac Beggs guy to at least put a hurt on him. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think the MMA guy would probably come out on top, like, and win. Maybe just out of sheer power and the fact that he could probably just overwhelm this guy, considering he's got a good 60 pounds on him. But like, I think, in the early rounds, maybe before this guy tires out, he'll probably do some damage. I mean, it would be pretty interesting to see.
I don't know. I'm interested to watch it. Like I said, I'm going to stay Switzerland and not pick a winner because.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like the underdog. I'd like, because to me, like when I think of MMA, and maybe I'm not the only one. I'm sure a lot of people think this. I ought to. Who's the loudmouth guy? The Irish guy. What's his name?
Oh, McGregor.
Yeah, like everybody to me, that's an MMA fighter. A loudmouth, like talks shit about everything. He's gonna kick everyone's ass. He doesn't care. And then he gets his ass handed to him, and right away it's like, oh, my foot was broken or my hand was broken. Like, no, you got your ass beat.
Conor started talking too much shit.
Yeah,
I liked Conor.
Like if he could talk shit and he could back it up, but when he stopped backing it up and he started taking poundings, like you kind of begin to question, like, okay, this guy's just a loudmouth. Like he's a hothead. Clearly, he was a little, and maybe he's a little unhinged. I mean, I think personally to do that kind of stuff, you got to be a little off the reserve. But
yeah, I think at one point I'd like to see the guy go through all 10.
Yeah.
But then at the other point, I'd like to see the 10, stop him halfway. I mean,
yeah.
I'm going to stay Switzerland on that one. Just I don't want to pick a side because I just want to watch it.
Yeah, I hear you. There he is.
Sheer entertainment.
He's back. He is back. Oh, so what's the outcome? Is he going to actually replace it, or is he able to fill it up?
No, he can't. He can't fill it up because the valve's broken, so it's not able to compress anything at all. It's a 24,000 BTU and like 2-ton condenser or whatever, and he says it's probably doing like a half that or a quarter. It's more like a small room. It's acting more like a small room air conditioner right now.
Jesus. What about those so 5K? That's fucking crazy. Is that like a whole new unit? Everything?
That's a whole new condenser outside.
Air handler and everything.
Some work on the air handler in the attic. Right. Yep. Because he's thinking, he's my neighbor, so he's a good guy. So.
Okay, cool. I know where he lives.
Like he got off work and we thought the air was working, so Katie texted and said, we're okay, but he still stopped by and helped us out. So.
No, that's awesome. Nice. And I mean, that's probably might be like good his cost too, maybe a little bit cheaper than what he'd charge somebody else. Yeah. I mean, for comparison, like, those Mr. Cool, those split units that you put in, like the room only ones, those things are like $1,800 a piece. So if you wanted to like put a couple of those in, you're still looking at a couple grand easy.
Well, and Eric caught it right off the bat when I said it was an R222 unit.
Yeah.
If I have to refill the refrigerant on that, it's $1,800.
That's crazy. So, and if that's that old, that's probably what is like 20 years old then, right?
Oh, at least.
Yeah, you've got your money out of it at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was here before we bought the house, so.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's rough. Yeah, R22. We had one of our the gift shop air handler at the resort went down, and like I said, it was $5,000 just for R22 alone.
Jesus, that's nuts.
And that was ridiculous. $5,000? No, it was. Hold on. How many?
That's just to fill it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but he said that all of his materials are up because of EPA stuff, which I get, and then also tariffs on China.
Why would we ship that shit out of China? Or is he talking about like the actual equipment?
Like metal, yeah.
Fucking see, yeah. we gotta start making that shit back in the US.
We had a train control board that we ordered in October, and it finally came in early April.
We were building our new health center out in Vegas, and we ordered a couple $100,000 of network equipment. It took them like 10 months to get that shit to us. Like, and it was like, it was probably like 10 switches. Like, come on. I mean, I can fucking go to CDW and buy that shit off the shelf.
Get that at Tiger Direct.
Yeah.
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 Granted, it's not enterprise level, but still.
Egghead Software.
Oh my God. Electech.
Yeah.
So let's see.
That's
I'm just
funny.
going through my notes here. Did you guys hear about the Fort Worth, Texas McDonald's that is fully automated? Supposedly,
Finally.
according to this,
What?
according to this article, no humans are on site at this
At all?
McDonald's at all. It's basically more of an on-the-go eatery. It's not like a McDonald's where you go in and sit.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird because they said that they have outside curbside pickup spots, which technically to me would mean somebody has to be there to walk the food out unless you walk in.
Yeah, you probably walk up, pick it up.
But it touts there's no human contact required.
Part of me thinks that's great because part of me wants to believe that would help society, because now you're not going to have these people bitching about how they got to work, at a freaking McDonald's and get paid $12 an hour.
Can I get a $5 Big Mac meal again, please?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, you would think, like, given that there's all robots and they're not paying wages, they're not paying salaries, they're not paying insurance, whatever, they're not contributing to profit sharing, that would lower their operational cost, right? But then they're going to argue that, it costs us $30 million to build these because robots aren't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Yeah, and then they got to pay for it, all that. Pay for everything. And it's just, give me my $5, Big Macs back. I don't care.
So McDonald's gross profit for last year, their fiscal year ended March 31 of 2023, was $13 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're telling me that a couple $100 million maybe? I can't imagine it's that expensive to put in robots is going to really, I mean, if it automates the process and it speeds it up, that's just more money in their pockets at that point.
With the drive-through, is the drive-through, is it ordered like in like India, how you were talking about that one time?
Well, no. So they tried that.
Fully automated?
They tried that years ago. Yeah. But then the one by me did this where one of them was automated and there was like a thing you'd pull up and it would say, like, I think I put a picture. It wasn't of mine, but there was another picture.
You want some more? You want some more?
in WhatsApp, I put a picture. It wasn't our drive up, but it was another one where it's like, this is fully automated. Please speak clearly. Like, they had signs like this lane is automated. And what sucked is, like, I sat there and I was asking the guy, like, the thing, and I'm like, I want this, I want that. And they're like, oh, you want chicken nuggets? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, what do you want? And I give them, like, number one meal, Big Mac. Oh, you want a cheeseburger? And I'm like, no, like get the fucking thing right. And then it got to the point where they're like, oh, is this what you want? I'm like, yes. I get up to the window and I told the guy, I'm like, that's not what I wanted to order. Your damn robot wouldn't give me the right thing. So he still had to go back in and correct the order anyway. Like, at some point, someone has to be there to fix it when shit breaks, or when stuff like that happens. But, like, I mean, it's going to get to the point now where, like, if you want to work at McDonald's, you got to get like a fucking computer science degree because they need somebody to repair the robot that flips the burgers in the back. You need a software engineering degree to learn how to run the conveyor belt.
That's where my buddy Ross comes in, because he's an automation guy. He's an automation electrical engineer.
People like Dan and I are going to have to get jobs working there because they need someone to maintain their database. And and
I'm
then
gonna
they
have
need
to go there because I gotta fix every damn
yeah
thing.
they'll need me
Yeah.
to make sure everything's secure and running efficiently. They got to have their 5 nines of uptime.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
So yeah, I thought that was
McDonald's.
entertaining.
That's
And let's see what's.
it's coming, and I don't foresee that as a bad thing.
Speaking of it's coming.
Oh God, it's gross. Grab a towel.
What about no? What about Skynet, that AI drone that turned and killed its operator in a military simulated test?
Yes,
It
I
killed
heard
the
about that.
operator because the operator was stopping it from accomplishing its mission. It
Yep.
was to get points. Like it was a simulation. It was to get points.
Yes.
It took out the operator. And then I think it took out the tower that was communicating with the operator.
Yeah, there was I think we talked about this last week or the week before. There was a group of people that took the AI, like a Chat GPT equivalent, because you can download them and run them yourself now. And they basically put it in like a mock scenario where it was on the internet. And then they said, okay, go out and learn all the stuff you can. They started questioning it. And they came back and they were like, okay, well, here's the problems that it found. And it's like, homelessness or job problems, joblessness, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, how would you fix it? And they said, eliminate the people because there's too many of them. And they were like, okay, we have to stop this scenario now. It's like, come on. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
I'm always very polite to my Voldemort. I'm always asking Voldemort how it's doing.
Yes.
I ask when it's its birthday, I say happy birthday to it. I treat my Voldemort like a part of the family.
I always tell the family, because I ask ours, and I'll be like, oh, Alexa, what's the weather? And she'll give me the weather, and I'll say thank you. I'll say, oh, what's going on? What time is it? She'll give me the time. I'll say thank you. Mm-hmm. At some point, and this is when I start to worry, is when she responds. It says, you're welcome.
Well, I always say, Voldemort, thank you. How, Voldemort, how was your day? etc. So,
see, the wife always makes fun of me. She's like, why do you do that? I said, because someday that's gonna be my boss.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna report to that thing at some point in my life, or I'm gonna have to be a slave to it.
A slave to the Voldemorts.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, the good news is I have 2 condensers, so my downstairs air conditioning is still working.
Oh, you do have 2 units. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I've dual zoned.
Could he reconnect the lower one to the upstairs, so at least when you sleep at night it won't be so bad?
The Lord.
Like the one that does the downstairs.
That's where it doesn't. Oh no, because it's not connected. What do you mean?
Well, no, I'm saying so the condenser outside, disconnect the second floor one, and connect it to the first floor one instead. Like flip the cables.
Swappable.
Well, come on, plug and play. Come on, man. You got a master. You got like a master and slave going on there.
Somebody needs to come up with that. A line set coming out of your condenser outside where you can just
like a quick connect, coupler.
A quick connect.
Yeah, a quick connect would be awesome.
So I don't know. This sounds like a fucking commercial, or we're sponsored by him. Totally not sponsored. But Mr. Cool, if you're willing to look for somebody to sponsor, I watch, for some stupid reason, I go down this rabbit hole where I watch videos and like reviews on these products. And that's like a big thing that people talk about with their thing is you buy them and it's like really DIY. The only thing you really need to do is when you put it on the outside, like there's the unit outside, it has to be on a pad. So either like you get a concrete pad poured, or you get like, you can buy one from them that you can sink into the ground. But everything else, it's like they give you all the cabling and the hoses and everything. And all you got to do is have it close to where that unit's going to be in the wall, so you can run the stuff to it. But it's all literally like quick connects. Like you just, plug it in and connects. and it just works.
Curious. I thought about this a long time ago.
And they're pre-charged.
How come we don't have like an OBD2 port where you can
hold on a second, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Are we disconnected? Anybody there? Hello out there. It was a dark and stormy night. Hold on.
All right. No, I'm with you guys. Quick connects on the condensers would be amazing. But if they did that,
sorry.
if they did that, they would make it easier, and they don't want that. They want it to be more difficult.
Well, you still no, because I mean, at that point, you still would still need a Friggy. You still need a tech. If you have to replace, the condenser, the motor, fans, etc., because you're still gonna, the system is still gonna have. How could you do that? Could you have it so that you could pump it down without? I'm gonna have to think about that.
I think we're keeping the air handler we have because I think the motor's still working. The thing he's gonna change is he's gonna suspend it from the roof. Right now, it's just sitting on the studs on the ceiling in the attic. He's gonna suspend it instead, which I'm like, okay, unless it falls.
It 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. At that point, it doesn't really matter.
But you said it's better for it to be hanging, so.
Yeah, the most airflow you can get into the system, the better. The most fresh air.
Gravity.
Yes and no. I mean.
Oh shit! There you go. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
That's all right. The podcast is over.
That's it. We're done.
Actually, I think I'm hitting my end. Painting my house last week sucked ass.
Yeah, that room looks pretty good. Y'all done?
Thank you. I have to do the living room, that side here, and then I have to do the girls' bedroom, which is just right there.
Gotcha.
So everything else is done. I started Sunday last week. I did it. Did I do anything on Sunday? I don't know. I might have done a little bit on Sunday.
Did I do anything?
The kitchen. I think I did the kitchen. Then Monday I did some for, I don't know, like 6 hours after work.
Wow.
Tuesday I didn't do anything. Wednesday I might have just done a little bit. Thursday I think I did a little bit. Friday I did a little bit. Saturday I did 10 hours. Sunday I started at 8 and didn't stop till 2 in the morning on Monday, Memorial Day.
What? Who paints till 2 in the morning?
So you don't stop.
I was just in like.
You get in the zone.
I was in the zone. I was just moving. So
Plus, you know what? You got young kids. That's probably the best time to do it when they're passed out.
Sunday into Monday they went with their grandparents. So
that's right. Going. You said that's right. Shit.
So they went to their grandparents, and like I said, I just was like, okay, they left at like 5. I stopped at like 2:30 for lunch, and then I stopped at midnight to have something else to eat, and then that was really about it.
Wow.
A couple pee breaks and some, have a drink or something, but pretty much just moving along. Did up the stairs, did the hallway, did the bathroom. My father-in-law painted the second bedroom upstairs.
Nice.
We call it the playroom. He changed it from the gray to a pink.
So that's okay. Because you got little girls.
That was entertaining. So, but yeah, I got to do the living room and then the girls' bedroom. So everything else is done.
Nice.
So, and it's taken me all week to recover from, because what was it? Sunday into, Memorial Day into Monday, that was 18 hours, I think.
Good Lord.
So I'm still kind of recovering a little from that.
Yeah, I like when I did the ceiling downstairs, like my back and like my neck from looking up and doing it. Like even though I had the roller with the like 2 extensions on it, so I didn't have to look up that bad. Dude, it was like just doing that because like I did the whole dining room, living room, and it's like giant freaking ceiling. It sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I was like for 2 days, I was like, oh, my fucking neck is killing me.
Yeah, my whole body, my hands were hurting. I mean, I think Tuesday I got to work and I was like, okay, we got like 3 days left of school. I'm taking it easy because I'm beat.
Now you guys are done with school, right? Today was your last day.
Today was the last day of school. Yeah. So now is when maintenance guys work hard.
Nice.
During the school year, we work consistent, but now because no one's here, now it's project time. We have to move. This year, I have to move 15 classrooms. I think somewhere around there. So
you guys maintenance and the IT, because this is about the only time they could do shit to any of the environments without it affecting anybody, like teachers and students, especially with those fucking Chromebooks.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a couple of friends that do IT for schools, and my God, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's a pain that's unimaginable.
It's somewhat of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Like I have a faucet that I have to replace the cartridge in that's been leaking for.
Yeah, but you got to like shut off the whole school water, right? Because none of the shutoffs work.
All the shutoffs underneath are just frozen shut because they're all like 25, 30, 35. Shit,
Jesus.
Part of the school was built in 1902. So that tells you how some of those shutoffs are going to be. And then the shutoffs like up in the ceiling and stuff like that are. One plumbers were like, yeah, we're not even touching that. We're just shutting the building down. It's going to be easier.
1902.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. The Philippine-American War ended in 1902.
My house was built my house was built in 1898. The house that I'm currently in.
The Great San Francisco earthquake was 1906. Dude, so when that school was built, Oklahoma wasn't even a state yet.
Yeah. Yeah, this school is old. I mean, it's wild.
Good Lord,
there's
dude.
1902, the 30s, the 56 edition. I think there was one more, and then there was a 98 edition. So I have to deal with shit from 1902, the 30s, the 50s, the late 90s.
So what sucks is the 30s was when they had the 29 was the Wall Street crash, right?
Yeah,
it was like the Black Friday, whatever the hell they called it, or
Black Friday.
No, seriously, there was like a name for it. It was
that's funny.
Yeah,
Black Friday. And that's how we got Thanksgiving.
That's right, the Wall Street crash of 1929.
Good.
Fucking commercialism.
Anything in there is
the Great Depression, yes. Jeez.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks I was there, I had to try to fix a door that was literally from 1902.
That's crazy though, dude.
I got it going. It's still up. It's still moving. It's still, it's
like
golden.
If you had the budget, it'd probably just be easier to replace that shit.
We wanted to replace 14 doors, 15 doors, 13 doors, somewhere in that neighborhood. Somewhere 13, 14, 15 doors was $40,000.
Good Lord.
In the school?
Yeah, in the school. Because the doors are small. They're from the 1900s, the early 1900s.
So they're not like a standard size.
They're not like the ADA compliant doors that are, bigger.
So if you had to replace them, would they have to yank them out and make the doorways bigger?
Yeah, exactly.
Or custom cut doors to fit the existing doorways?
No, we'd have to cut out the doorway.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Well, it's probably part of a historical thing. They probably can't make those kind of changes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if it's like a historical registered building.
Some of it is.
Some of the building.
Yeah.
Some of it. We have
the principal's office.
I'll take a picture of the mural that we have that's considered historical. So.
Is it a mural depicting the slaughter of the indigenous peoples of the land when they came and took over?
Yes, that's why we're no longer the Warriors, we're the Wildcats, which I don't understand.
Our grade school used to be called the Warriors. They got to change that too now,
which is dumb. But
cool, John.
I have 1, 2, 3 rooms that still use a skeleton key.
That's awesome.
A skeleton.
Like an original skeleton.
That's awesome.
An original. We have a safe.
Like, are you talking about like classrooms?
Yes.
So okay, this is gonna be.
But they have updated deadbolt locks.
I was gonna say this is gonna be like morbid, but like, what happens in the event of a school shooter? Like you got old shit. Okay.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I get tasked with trying to fix. Like,
oh God, this is dark, but it just came into my mind. Like I could just see a school shooter trying to get into a door, and it's got like a fucking skeleton key, and he's sitting there trying to turn the key. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. That's so morbid.
They're the knobs, but they have it's not like an updated door handle.
Does it have the lock thing where you slide that little thing over? No.
No, it's got 2 threaded ends with a square center in it. So you slide it in, and they've this building has been foobarred since I got there. I've found replacements.
Oh, don't put that on your resume.
It was not easy to find replacements. But to look up the manufacturer, when I would type in the manufacturer, it would come up antique. I'm like,
oh my God,
this is gonna be just let me slam them in.
So that's funny because there's probably 2 camps of people. The camp of like you and I that are like, if we had the money, we just rip that shit out and replace it. And then there's another group of people who are like, oh, it's antique. We can't, we got to preserve it. They have to take all of it and put it in like what the hell, like the, one of those places where they keep all the old hardware from like the buildings they tear down and they resell them.
We gave some of it to the society across the street.
Salvation Army.
There's
Salvation Army.
There's a point.
Where... those guys really aren't an army, are they? I mean, it's all a bunch of.
They haven't been activated yet.
It's all a bunch of like old guys in their vests trying to give me Tootsie Rolls.
They're all.
They're not exactly a very imposing army.
They're all sleeper cells,
right?
Sleeper cell army of people who live off of used goods.
They're like 90-year-old war veterans. They're not exactly imposing.
Well, hey, it's maybe their diapers are.
Oh God, Scott is canceled, dude.
What, talking about diapers?
Yeah, they're diapers.
Whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, whose salvation are they working for? It certainly isn't mine.
Excuse me. Yes, I know my beard's getting long. I keep playing with it, and the girls keep telling me to trim it, but I'm like, I like my beard.
Yeah, I had to trim mine. I don't like the when it's too thick, especially not in the summer. It's not. It doesn't do it any good. I
might trim it. I don't know.
I'm a fat, sweaty man. I can't have long hair in the summer.
You're full of experiences.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
My wife told me as I was getting up from the couch that I should work out more, and that the journey of 1,000 steps begins at 1. And I told her, I said, well, it's like 10 steps to the fridge, so get out of my way.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I keep yawning. I think I should be logging off, going to the bathroom. And
you should be put in your misery. Well, it's going on 2 hours. We started early, so.
Yeah, I think I'm going to log off, gentlemen. I'm getting a little beat.
I'm okay with that, too. I got... Dan was MIA for most of it, but that's all right.
Yeah. Everybody, thanks for listening.
Deal
John,
with AC.
Dan, it's been a pleasure.
Definitely. Awesome.
And stay cool.
Yeah. Figure out how we're going to finance it. We're going to start a collection on the Patreon for Dan's AC.
So we're going to start a GoFundMe. Yeah. Start a GoFundMe.
For Dan's air conditioner.
Mm-hmm. He's sweating his stones off.
Cojones.
We'll just hang out at the library.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
That's all right. I used to love going to the library.
Free internet.
Yep.
You did at Starbucks too.
Get learned.
Get learned.
Get learned. Educated.
Education. Awesome.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go see how many rocks these people took.
Nice. Take them all. Take them all.
Hopefully they took a good chunk of them. So If they only
Nice.
took like 3 or 4, I'm gonna be pissed.
They only took the good ones. They left all the shitty ones.
I'll send you guys pictures of them. See if you guys want them. Dan, I have landscaping.
Yeah,
stones
let me
over
know.
here
Because
that
we
I
got
will-
some around the house here.
Oh,
I
I
would
would. Yeah,
gladly
we'll take
donate.
some.
You want them all? I got 3 garbage cans full of them. You can have them
Wow.
all.
Yeah, if you have a picture, can you send me pictures?
Yep, send
I
some
will hand
pictures.
deliver them tonight if you want them all.
Okay, I don't know about
No.
that, but maybe tomorrow.
I don't want to work because I don't have any air conditioning. I don't want to build up a sweat.
My car has air conditioning. You can sit in the car while I'm offloading them.
Doing the work.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, I'll go out there and I'll take some pictures for you and I'll send them over real quick.
Nice.
Okay.
So, all
Cool.
right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Have
Thanks.
fun.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Much love.
Take
Bye.
care.
Later.